Hello everyone, this is Anushka Mann and I welcome you all to my channel. So today I'll be sharing some insights from my journey as to how I scored 99 percentile in my CAT examination 2023 with just 5 months of preparation. So those of you guys who are scared about whether or not you are late in this journey of CAT preparation, this video is for you guys, and I hope you can find some motivation from my videos. So let's get started. So before we begin, I would like to give a brief introduction about my academic background. I graduated in 2023 from Ramjas College, University of Delhi. I pursued a Bachelor's in Science Chemistry Honours with a 8.9 CGPA. So that's about my academic background. So yes, I was a fresher, and I was done with my exams in June 2023, and as soon as my exams were over, I joined this online coaching platform to start my preparation journey. So first of all, let me start by breaking my preparation journey, and I'll share my elaborate timetable as to what I did exactly in a day according to different sections. So let's start with VARC first. So basically, before I started my preparation, I knew that I'd be comfortable with English language and that I'll have to give a minimal amount of efforts to this subject. That is, I was quite comfortable with English. However, with mathematics, first of all, I had been out of touch with mathematics for so long. The last I studied maths was for my class 12th board exams. And moreover, I don't think like I'm extraordinary in mathematics, so I was quite uncomfortable with the subject. So when I started my preparation, I had this mindset initially, that I'll have to focus a lot and give in a lot of efforts for the QA section, that is the quant section. So I had a rough idea in mind as to what were my focus areas, my strengths and weaknesses, and hence I began. So coming to the timetable part, first of all about VARC. So every morning when I woke up, I had my breakfast and then I would sit down for 30 minutes. I would read one essay from this website which is called Aeon. Now the thing with Aeon is that it's generally a 3,500 to 4,000 words essay. And why I recommend those essays is because the kind of language, the kind of complexity those essays have is very much similar to the reading comprehensions that you will find in the CAT examination. So how the Aeon essays helped me was that every morning for 30 minutes I read the essays. Initially I was not able to read even like 2 paragraphs because the language is a little tough to comprehend. But gradually I was able to, as I continued with this practice, I was able to read the entire essay of 4,000 words and understand it properly within 30 minutes and even less. So what happened was, not only did it improve my vocabulary, definitely, whenever there were some difficult words coming up, I would look up their meanings, but it also increased my reading speed, which is very, very important, and also increased my comprehension speeds. And both of these things directly affected and boosted the scores in my reading comprehensions. So this is a very fruitful practice for those of you who want to boost their reading comprehension section. So every day for 30 minutes, first thing in the morning, I used to read an Aeon essay. And as soon as 30 minutes were over, I would just, shut down the window and move on to something else. So don't spend more than 30 minutes, whether or not you read the entire essay or you read just 2 paragraphs, just 30 minutes is enough. So once I was done with Aeon, I used to move towards the other sections, that is para-jungles and para-summaries. So I used to solve around 20 to 25 questions each of para-jungles and para-summaries from the workbooks that we were provided with. And then after that, I used to give one sectional mock almost every other day for VARC. Now sectional mocks had been so useful for me when I was preparing for my CAT examination because they helped me look over the individual subjects of the VARC section particularly. Like I was able to focus on where I was faltering in RCs, PJs, para summaries, etc. So I would highly recommend that you give sectional mocks every other day, whichever platform that you are associated with. So these are few things. Then there is one additional suggestion for those of you guys who don't feel very comfortable in English, who feel that their vocabulary isn't that strong and they're not able to comprehend anything. So for them, I would suggest that there is this book called Norman Lewis. And trust me guys, in my entire life, this is the first vocabulary book which actually really works and boosts your vocabulary over 10 times in just a couple of days. So I would recommend that you buy a copy of that book and take a pencil, and there are some, so there are certain chapters in that particular book. So certain sessions. So after every session, there is a sort of workbook or sort of exercise in there. Take a pencil and write the answers inside the book itself. So if you want some additional help for vocabulary, I would highly recommend Norman Lewis. So number 2 is the most feared section of all, which is DILR, data interpretation and logical reasoning. So with DILR, let me be very honest with you. No matter how many questions you solve, in the examination you will still find 1 or 2 sets that you have never seen in your entire life. So what to do about it? Should we be scared and not attempt at all? No. So I'll tell you what I did for myself. First of all, for DILR section, you can never be like completely sure as to what you will see in the examination. So you have to develop that logical bent of mind so that you are able to tackle and reason through any sort of questions that you encounter. So what I did was I used to solve at least 2 to 3 sets of any sort of analytical puzzle, or maybe circular arrangement, linear arrangement, spider charts, bar graphs, etc. At least 2 to 3 of them every single day, again from the workbook that we were provided. But you can also refer to Arun Sharma as well, because a lot of questions that we had in our workbooks were similar to the ones that were there in Arun Sharma as well. So you can refer to whatever book or workbook that you have in your hand. Moreover, there's one thing that I'll really suggest for DILR is to go through the previous year question papers, especially from 2020 to 2023, and solve each and every question very carefully when you are going for DILR from the previous year question papers. So when you will do this exercise, you will get a hang of what exactly you are going to face in the actual CAT examination and what level of questions can you expect. Moreover, make sure that in DILR you go through a variety of questions. Like, make sure that you do at least 2 to 3 questions of every subject of every variety, like spider charts, bar graphs, tables and arrangements, analytical puzzles. Look through the previous year question papers, what all categories are there, and then based on those, make a list and make sure to attempt 2 to 3 questions of each category, so that in the examination, if you find those type of questions, it's not something that you're seeing for the first time. At least you will have some idea as to how to solve that set. Then comes to QA. Now for quants, the one thing that I made sure that I did was to focus and make my basics very strong. So for QA, I would suggest that there are 3 topics particularly that you should devote your entire attention to initially. That is arithmetic, algebra and geometry. Because more than, I think around 60 to 70% or maybe just 50 to 60% of the section of quants is based on these 3 topics alone. And let me tell you that in my CAT examination, that is 2023, the algebra questions were in a large number. So basically, no matter what else you are doing for your quants preparation, make sure that these 3 topics, arithmetic, algebra and geometry, are very strong for you. Focus on the basics. I would suggest that watch videos online if you are doing self-study or maybe studying from a book, or if you're going to some coaching. Make sure that your basics are absolutely strong, that you understand the depth of the topics well. Solve the basic questions multiple times, and then you will realize that once your basics are clear, you are able to build upon that and then solve advanced questions. So my number 1 suggestion for quants and the supreme suggestion for quants would be focus on your basics. Then comes for the mocks. Now for the mocks, I think I'll make a separate video wherein I'll teach you how to take mocks and how to analyze mocks, what you can derive from those, mocks that you're attempting, how many mocks you should give, when and where. So all of those things I'll cover in the next video. So I hope that my rough timetable that I have provided to you would be of some help to you. Now the thing with timetable is that as you proceed with your preparation, you can make amendments and modifications in your own timetable based on your schedule and also on what you need to focus more on. So every timetable is very subjective. It is catering to individuals' needs. But if you still have any more questions, any more doubts that you might want to ask me, you can comment them below and I'll make sure to answer most of them as soon as possible. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.